American football in Finland.
The voice in your ears and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Purpose, and this is American Football in Finland. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, the one, the only, Coach Q. What up,
Yes,
Q?
sir. Yes, sir. We
Woo!
here.
Yeah, end of an era, victory
Yeah.
lap, baby. The AFF podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcast. You can see us visually here on YouTube. Wherever you listen to watch, be sure to subscribe, follow, and like us. Anyone who listens but doesn't hit that button, and we know there's a lot of y'all out there because y'all be to
Mhm.
get on my subscribe list. That's cool. A hater. We're gonna go on with the show anyways. Let's get it.
Mhm.
Last one. Well, I guess we're gonna do first down. We weren't gonna do it, but since we're recording on a Tuesday, not a Sunday, I felt like maybe we should let people know that we're doing first down. Um, yeah. Q had a situation. Tell us about your situation, Q.
Yeah. So I'm working in Saudi Arabia right now. I'm here for an event, and they I don't. It sounds bad. But they literally just started letting women drive here not too long ago, and this lady, and for the people that don't know, in Saudi Arabia, they like all the way covered up. You know what I'm saying? And the lady turned from the middle lane. I'm on the outside lane, and she hit me. So which is the worst thing because anytime that you get in an accident in like the Middle East, it's automatically your fault unless you have
Yeah.
somebody there who like they feel like if you weren't in the country, then the accident wouldn't happen. Like
Mm.
obviously, you know what I'm saying. But luckily, I had some guys that were from here that's working in the same event, and they kind of was right there to talk to the police and all that stuff. So I think I'm not at fault. We'll find out when the company credit card get charged in a few weeks or whatever. But but I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, that was like my little week, man. Just I'm
Yeah.
happy still be here. It wasn't bad. So on to the next.
Well, glad you're still with us. On my end, I've been sick since last week. Basically, like Wednesday night, I got like incredibly sick where I spent days just in and out of sleep, sweat, fever, not really like throwing up per se, but like having the phlegm, that phlegm come up. And now I'm
Mhm.
kind of I'm better. I'm not dizzy. I'm not sick feeling, but I still got a little in the back of my throat at all times for some reason. But weekend was good though. Since it's Tuesday now. I don't know if anybody paying attention, but my football team's doing great. Ohio State Buckeyes, still doing their thing. Should be number one. I'm not afraid to admit it. We buy championships. Let's keep it going. Like that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna buy another one. But on the other side, LA Rams also 2-0, baby. We coming back for it. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
win the NFC West this year. Because the 49ers just not looking as good as they
Yeah.
should. The Cardinals, they always look good early in the season and then they just fall off. So I don't worry
Yeah.
about them. And then Seattle's just not what they used to be. So we might win the NFC West again,
Mhm.
which we haven't done in the last few years, I don't think, because we've been barely making playoffs. So,
Yeah.
we kind of over the Aaron Donald thing, which is crazy. And then getting rid of like Cooper Cup and them, like we got Devontae Adams for really cheap, so that's exciting. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's good to be in football mode now. And, obviously, the Butchers won, so like I'm it's all looking up for me. My fantasy teams was horrible week one because I drafted crazy. I'm in Yahoo Fantasy, and I don't know if anyone has ever done fantasy, don't do Yahoo Fantasy. Yahoo Fantasy has like AI like to summarize the games, and like after the games, it talk crazy. It says perfect purpose. What are y'all even doing? Are y'all even trying to win? I'm like, gosh, what? I'm not playing the game. And that Yahoo AI went crazy on me in week one. Like made it sound like I shouldn't ever play fantasy football. And then this week, I finally got some wins in like half of my league. So it's evening back out because you never really know how the first couple of games. And I did some crazy drafting. So I was missing players in week 1 in certain spots. And I was like, I ain't worried about it. I got draft capital and stuff like that. But yeah, feeling good about football. Man, I feel like there's something else I want to throw out here while we got it. Oh,
Not
yeah.
Charlie Kirk. I know you want to talk about Charlie Kirk.
Ain't got shit to do with me. I mean, you want to talk about Charlie Kirk?
Nah, that's a whole, that'll take me all day.
I don't get really into like politics like that. Y'all know that. I mean, I kind of knew about him, but you know, there goes Jesse. There we go.
What's up, Jesse?
I'll take MVP. Coach Q could be player of the year. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll take it.
But it was the Charlie Kirk thing. It was surprising to me, but also kind of on par, right? Like people out here taking their shots on everybody, so it is what it is.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, the only thing that I'm gonna say about this is, you know, the selective outrage. I just don't like selective outrage. It don't really matter what it's about. I just don't like selective outrage. Like if you're gonna be mad about something, be mad about it. If you're gonna believe in something, believe in. If you believe in free speech, then you should believe in free speech, not when it just doesn't go with what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we're seeing a lot of people getting fired for people saying that, you know, people celebrating his death and all this stuff right here. And morally, it might not be right for a person to celebrate somebody's death, but it's not illegal. You know what I'm saying? It's not the moral thing to do. But if free speech is free speech, a person should be able to say whatever they want to say, just like he was able to when he was alive. So that's the only thing I say is, like, if you believe in free speech, let it be fair and let it be both ways. I don't think people should get fired for voicing how they felt about this man, because that's what he lived off of. He lived off giving his opinion. Well, people say opinion, but you know, he lived off giving his opinion, and I feel like you gotta lay on that sword. Literally, like when something happened to you, people should be able to say how they feel. You know, maybe you don't like it, and that's cool, but it just goes both ways. But either way, sad that, you know, we had to see somebody like die on TV, like literally, you know, right on
That
TV.
was crazy.
His family and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like your words have, and I truly believe this, your words, you don't know how your words affect other people's lives. So when you look at it at something as, I'm just speaking my opinion, I'm just speaking my mind, you don't know what other people are going through from you speaking your words. So everything, one of the first things they tell you in school is words have consequences, and words, and it is what, and they never give you the level of what the consequences is, but your words have consequences. And unfortunately, we you know, seeing something happen to somebody on live TV, sad either way. But yeah, that's all I won't say on that. I could go for days, but
I would jump into that because it's an interesting thing. I'm not too much like into like his situation and stuff, and like freedom of speech, I'm all for it. But I agree with you 100% about the words have consequences. I think that we also live in a society now where people have not found that out at a certain point in life, which allows them to go through life with a certain amount of entitlement that, and not to sound like the old head, but you know, where I'm from, being from, you know, Texas of all places, growing up there were certain things that I knew not to say because of the consequences. Where I'm from, and I'm just gonna throw out some examples because I think people need to understand how radically different it is from today. Where I'm from, if anyone who is an adult while I was a kid says something to me and I say something back, whether it's yes, whether it's no, there's a chance I get slapped in the mouth. And I'm not joking. Like I've been hit by an adult like in the face for saying no or saying I'll do that later. And I learned very quickly that my words have consequences. As a young adult, in college. You might even have a similar experience. I don't know your background as well, but I have legitimately lost friends to gun violence. And a lot of it came from the fact that someone said something, someone responded with a weapon, and those are the consequences. And I think living that life that I have, it's given me a better perspective that I don't always say what's on my mind, knowing that, I could do damage to someone's ego and they could be a person that wants to go and do something like, take their own life, not just mine. And you kind of live with this, okay, I appreciate my life, I appreciate everyone else's, and that's what I want to do. Yeah. But if there's never any consequences for what you say,
you just gonna say whatever you want to say all the time.
I'm sorry, I have a 6-year-old daughter now, and I swear, she said some stuff to me, and I'm just like, you don't even know if
this was anybody else,
you wouldn't even be here. Like, oh boy, like you living on borrowed time from what I'm thinking, because this is craziness. And then same thing, even being an adult in this world that we're living now, traveling internationally, you meet a lot of people. I've had people internationally, especially when people like go to the States and stuff. I love it. I love how internet savvy people are, because there's a lot of people that will say things like online, and then when you see them in person and it could get real, they understand. Especially when you're speaking of like what happens in America with the violence and stuff, like even this Charlie Kirk situation, people that have never been to the States, never going to the States, have an opinion on it. Yeah. Have an opinion on the lifestyle that they aren't participating in, and feel that that's relevant, that they should tell people that this is my opinion. And for me, that's how you get slapped in the mouth.
Yeah. And you just, in a perfect world, you should. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say in a perfect world. You can say whatever you want to say. Anybody,
but be ready.
Just
be ready.
Just don't expect everybody to react the same way. That's all. We'll leave it at that.
If I say something that I think is outlandish, I am prepared for an outlandish response. I'm not gonna say it and not expect, violence in return. I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, I guess we'll get off of that. Last thing I want to throw out there is congratulations to Finland's basketball team, the national team. They came in 4th place in the Eurobasket. They lost to Greece. Giannis, I can't say his last name, but the Greek freak was, whew. I watched the whole game, and the whole time I was like, foul number 34. Can we get him ejected? Can we flop? Can we get rid of this guy? Because that dude is good. But on the plus side, Finland's basketball team is really good. Their national team is really good.
Yeah.
They're about 2 or 3 years away from being like, they were 1 game away from being in the championship. Yeah. So they came in 4th out of all the teams in Europe. Germany won the whole thing. So I think they beat Serbia, if I'm not mistaken, with Joker. So they're on the up and up. And I watched that last game. It was really good to watch, and really, really proud of them, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was free throw. No, but the putback. Why you got to put? You could have dunked.
They had a chance twice, though.
Yeah. Like it was close enough to win, but TIF, right?
Yeah.
Similar to what we said last week. Not everybody got that ice in their veins when it come down to it, man. Yeah. Sometimes, I don't think anybody from Finland thought they were going to win that game, which is crazy. Even though it was that close, they didn't really think they were going to win. I guess that's all I got for first down. I guess what'd you say, Jesse? Finland is awesome, except for
Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Ain't no free Wi-Fi in Finland, Jesse.
That's crazy too, because there's not like the Wi-Fi here is good, but also it's also very cheap. Like, you can go get a SIM card, and it's like $1 a day for unlimited internet.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Like you can get a SIM card, pay $10, and you have a week of internet, unlimited. No
The
problem.
railway station. The railway
Yeah,
station.
at the R
That got
kiosk. Yeah, at the
free.
railway
Yeah, they
station.
got free. Yeah.
It's just people aren't accustomed to doing that. Like you
Yeah.
don't think like, oh, I can go get a prepaid and it worked. In Finland, it actually does work just as well.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I use a prepaid now. We stopped using our account years ago because we were like, I'm paying $60 a month. I could pay 25 and just
Yeah.
pay it every month with this thing. Just refill this thing, and then you can still travel abroad. Like I'm on a prepaid plan. I think I pay like 30, $40 a month, and when I go abroad, I still have like 5 to 10 gigs of internet and calling. I don't call, but I have internet when I go to
Yeah.
other countries. So, and that's all prepaid. So it's pretty cool. And like unlimited is unlimited. It doesn't slow down or anything. Like it's actually unlimited. Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll try to get into the football of this last weekend.
Let's do it.
All right. Porvoo Butchers are your 2025 Maple Bowl champions. I can't remember which one it is. Is this 45, 46, something like that?
I'm gonna do it for it. Yeah.
But 1979, do the math. However many years from 1979 to now. That many years, that's which Maple Bowl it is. Butchers won. Did they end up scoring 50? No. What was the final score? Yeah, it was 50.
52, I think.
Yeah, I saw 52 somewhere else too. I think the Lions scored 52, so I was a little confused. Yeah, they beat them bad. What are your takeaways, man? What do you think about?
You know what? I'm not surprised. Like all of us picked the Butchers to win the game anyway. I'm not surprised. I didn't think before the game that the Crocs even had a chance. I know they said, they said I've been harsh on the Crocs, and we be harsh on them. But like I said, this history repeats itself every time with them. Um, there's a difference between working hard and deservingly being in a championship game, and then there's being in the championship game by default. And I think the Crocs were in the championship game by default. I'm gonna just say that. I don't think they. I don't think they're like. I don't think they were the best team to be in that game against the Butchers. Although they, by default, they won the games that they needed to win to get there, but it wasn't like just a fair and square we got here type thing. But anyway, even though that I believe that the Crocs still were there, they still had an opportunity to show something in this game. I think they won their championship in the game before that. That's all. I think that was their peak. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. Some teams get to that point, that semifinal or whatever, and they peak right there. But the Butchers are just too equipped on the offensive side of the ball, man. They just too equipped. It doesn't matter most of the time what you call against that offense, because at the end of the day, their skill players are probably better than yours. And it is what it is. And I know the Crocs knew that before the game, but watching the game, you can see that. You can see that when the ball's in the air and the ball is coming down, the Butchers players were better at going to get the ball. On the plays that they called, the intensity that the Butchers had, it was way more than the Crocs as a whole. The Crocs just didn't look. They didn't look like energetic really to me. I mean, pregame, yeah, you can see all the hype and everybody's excited, but then once you get in there and no lie, that stadium makes everything seems a little bit faster, a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it does.
And then that's what it looked like. It looked like one team was the better team, obviously, and it just went that way the whole game. Kudos to the Crocs for making it there, but at some point, this organization got to figure out if they just want to just go or win. Right now, they probably have the record for the most losses championships in Finland.
Let's do some quick math because I've been here for this is going on year 10 for me in Finland. And I want to say out of the 10 years, I've seen the Crocs go to 5 Maple Bowls.
Yeah.
Am I right? Let's try to do 2016.
Let's see.
2016 they went.
16, yeah.
And then I think 2018 they went.
I'm trying to think. I think they went before that too. But
17 y'all played the Royals.
So Justin Solitaire played in Did he play with the Croc? That was 16, right?
Yeah, 16, but
Because he was with the Royals in 17.
But they also
so.
went 15. I wasn't here in 15, but I think they went in 15 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
They went back to back.
Yeah, because they
in
beat
those
us.
2 years.
They beat us in 15. Yeah, they beat us in 15 ago. So yeah, it's something. The Crocs, man, in championship games just can't go that hump. They can't go that hump, and it sucks because it's like they might be cursed. I feel bad for saying that, man, but they might be cursed, man, because it's like I know at some point you got to be like, why every time that we get here, we never hold a trophy at the end. Like no matter who's playing for them, and they've had some really good teams in Seinäjoki. They have a squad that plays together. These guys play together for years, and they just cannot seem to get over that hump when it comes to playing in the championship game. They've been the better team in a lot of those championships. I believe they've been somewhat equal or better than the other team, but they just can't get over the hump. And this year was probably the worst year for them ever to play the Butchers. They could probably beat anybody else, but I don't think I don't think anybody probably was going to beat the Butchers in the championship. Just to be honest, I just think Corpio would have gave them a better game. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? We'll never know now. The Butchers won.
Let me get my Crocodiles out first before we start talking good. I think we're gonna finish on talking good on the Butchers, but we want to start by talking about the Crocodiles. Excuse me. I don't agree 100% with everything you were saying because I mean they won the game to get there. I don't deserve to be there. I think it's hard to determine that with football. I think if you catch people on the right week, and that's what happened with them against the Steelers, is caught them at the perfect time, perfect storm, and that's kind of how their luck is. They'll get good luck when they need it.
Oh yeah,
they're not getting it in that last game. It's a certain time of the year, second week of September. They're probably the most defeated team in second week of September I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, if they like fake it till you make it. Like they're and it sounds bad, but it's like fake it till you make it. It's like we do all of these things and these plays go our ways, but then at some point you actually have to play football, and when it's just straight up football, they don't have enough to beat a team like the Butchers.
That's what I didn't like in this game. And again, I'm talking more than we need to about this so that we actually have a show, but what I didn't like about the way the Crocs played the game is, I mean, I feel like y'all are listening to us on the podcast, but at the same time, I guess y'all not listening to us on the podcast because I think I laid it out pretty clearly that you have to do something different to beat a team that hasn't been beaten and no one has done anything to make them feel like they could be beaten. And then these guys went out here. And we got to talk about the defense because, you gave up a lot of points really early. And you look at how they played. You got your two best edge rushers on the same side. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get pressure there. Except you're playing against a quarterback who likes to throw on the run to his right. And you're forcing him to his right. Like, what? Explain how that is something different. Like, you're doing what? Like, look at what happened in the game. Christian Arambide had to move around a little bit. And what did he do? He moved to his right where he's comfortable, and he launched that thing, as he always does. So it wasn't a change of pace. Look at the Butchers throughout this season. I've said it before. They've got a decent O-line, but they get pressure. Teams get pressure against them. Yeah, but the thing is, Arambide is good under pressure. He's not a guy you want to pressure. You want him to sit back and throw it. Because if he get the ball out of his hand quick, you can rally to the ball. If he starts moving around, number 10 is just going deep. He ain't playing around. You can watch the film. Lucas Aralai, he'll be running a hitch route. As soon as he see Christian Arambide start moving, he's like, oh, to the end zone. Here I go. And can't nobody keep up with him. So you don't want that to happen. And I feel like the Crocodiles didn't really give any justice. We talked about it in our group chat early in the game, like second drive, they put Akano at linebacker. He was ineffective. He's just there. He's basically spying Christian Powell and Christian Arambide, and he can't really run with either one of them. Yeah. What's the point of that? and then you leave Riley Coleman to have to work in the trenches by himself. No disrespect to the rest of the D-line. They're pretty good. But, having them at least both on the line at the same time puts some pressure on the Butchers' offensive line. And then, that's what I really felt was bad on the defensive side is that they didn't really try. I felt like they didn't try to mix it up. They didn't try to do something to put the Butchers in a different situation. The one time where they had a good play where I saw was when they actually sacked Christian Arambide. That was just a mess up by the O-line. They just didn't block the guy. But other than that, they never really got good pressure or did anything that affected the Butchers' game plan. And then you go to the offensive side of the ball. They played against the Butchers like they were as good or not better than the Butchers. They're like, we're going to do what we do every week. We don't care who's over there. And then the person over there slapped them in the mouth. Like that, you can't just go out there and play against a team that is physically better than you and act like they're not. And that's how it's one of those situations.
Somebody lied in the locker room. See, this is the part of football I don't like anymore because somebody was in the locker room giving a pregame speech and was lying to that team.
Exactly.
Somebody went in there and said, guys, they put their shoulder pads on just like us. They put their helmet on just like us.
That's exactly
they're the same as us. And these guys got hyped and went out there and disappointed the whole city because they didn't be real. Whoever should have said, hey, guys, we got a hill to climb. We have a hill to climb. And I said this, you have to play a perfect game. But even a perfect game for the Crocs might not have been enough to beat the Butchers. The Butchers they just have probably one of the best offensive rosters I've ever seen in Finland before. And it's like if you treat them and if they treated them like they were just any other team, and I feel like you that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Like they got too many, like you had to have a real game plan of saying, like, you know what, we're gonna blitz. Like you gotta throw in all new stuff if you have to, but like what you can't do is go out there and give that performance because that was just embarrassing.
And then again on the offensive side, like where's the creativity? Where's we're gonna find a way? I know you want Sip to run the ball. There's different ways to get him the ball. There are ways. Excuse me. I didn't see them put him at slot and run a jet sweep. Like that's an easy fix. I didn't see a lot of zone read from him and Kyles. That's something you have to do to kind of force that Butchers defense to sit a little bit. They tried to get it to Vertonen a lot of times, and a lot of times he was just bracketed. Almost every time they threw the ball his way, there were at least 2 or 3 Butchers in the area. I'm not saying they were like white on rice in him, but the windows were small. Kyles and him weren't on sync in a lot of those windows, so it was a lot of like incomplete passes. And that's all the Butchers had to do. They weren't trying to like dominate the Crocs. Yeah. They were like, we hold you, you punt, we're gonna score. And if that's that's the case, offense, you gotta try to do something. I didn't see did they do any screen passes to Sip? Like it just looked very like
it's like when they started up, once the Butchers crunk up, it was over then anyway.
Yeah.
Once 14-0 start, you go away against everything that you had planned for that game. So
yeah. And legitimately, after I didn't watch the second half, I watched it. It was I think 28-0 before I stopped paying attention. I just had it on TV because again, once you get up 3 touchdowns, it's like you said, it's not real football anymore. But I was really disappointed in the way that the Crocodiles went out there because, like you said, someone lied to them. Like I honestly think it's crazy when people say, they put on their pants one leg at a time like you. No, Beyonce does not do that. She shimmies her shit on, okay? And I'm sorry. I feel like before the game starts, I feel like Nate Robitaille puts his pants on 2 legs at a time. That's how I feel about it. I don't know if Nate does that. I feel like
you got to be real. You have to be real. You got to say, okay, guys, they have Lucas Earl over there. Like, they have Christian Powell. They got Christian Arambide. Like, you got to be real and be like, hey, guys, we have got to be on point. We got to be more than on point. We have to make more plays than they make. on offense. And I understand they got the defensive player of the year. Christian McConnell can only do so much. Secondary wise, there's nobody that was in their secondary that I could say could have like literally locked down anybody
Nah,
on
they don't have
that
any lock.
roster. And in that place, you got to do roll coverages. You got to play cover 4. You got to. I'm never going 0. I don't care what it is. We playing cover 4 the whole game. If you beat me, we're gonna have to miss some tackles. But I'm not playing 1-on-1. Letting Robitaille was out there looking like the Robitaille that we know he is. But I'm just saying it was almost like, man, like every single time the guy was like a step or two back.
Yeah, couldn't run with him.
Yeah,
People forget how fast he is because he's probably just as fast, if not faster, than Lucas Earla. It's just we don't see him like using speed very often.
It was like they was on a mission. The Butchers has been on a mission the whole season, and the Crocs was just in the way. And I feel bad because people paid 25, 35 euros to come and watch this smacking. And you got to give more than that. Like literally, got to give more than that. And it was just it was bad.
Go watch that game. That's another reason I knew I wasn't going. Because I said I knew it was gonna happen. I didn't want to say nothing on the stream, but I knew that it was gonna be a one-sided affair. But also thought that the Crocodiles were gonna give them something different. It was just one of those situations, like you said. The Butchers have a lot of talent. We know they got a lot of talent. Me personally, and this is just me personally, I can't speak for nobody else. If I'm playing a team that got a lot of talent, I don't think I match up. I'm gonna focus on one of the talents. Like, I'm gonna try to stop at least one thing. So, like, if you go into this game and say they end up throwing it to Robitaille the whole game and Lucas Earla don't get no touches. All right, we did something. We did one thing, But that's not the case. Everybody got the ball.
Mickey had about 3 touchdowns.
Mickey had a touch. Like, everybody was able to do everything. So what did you really do? You did nothing. Yeah. You lined up with them and said, we believe we're your equal no matter what. And then you found out you weren't and didn't even try to adjust. I'm sorry. Yeah. Once it got to a point that we're down by 4 touchdowns, we changing all this. Like you said, we in cover 4. If you beat us, we're gonna make us miss tackles. You're gonna have to show me some work. And then we're not even blitzing. I'm not even rushing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't believe
you should have to blitz. You should have to blitz, though. At that point, you go down 28-0. You got Coleman at one end and Connell at one end. Like, keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket and let him throw you out this game. Like, you can't. But what you can't do is what they did. You can't do what they did where you like, all right, our guys going to make this play on Lucas Earla or Robitaille. Like, you just can't push your defense in that situation. And from what I know, they got a good defense coordinator, but, like, that wasn't it. Like, that was not a good game plan. It just the Butchers looked like the number 1 team, and the Crocs looked like they weren't supposed to be there. And that's just my opinion. Like,
okay, we're done with the Crocs. It's over. Let's go. Let's talk about the Butchers. Let's give them their flowers when it's due, man. Let's start with the biggest story of the championship is that man finally got one. Man, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Christian Powell, man, I'm so happy for him. Getting against his old team, who he would have loved, I'm sure, to get them one when he was playing with them. But that's how football is, man. That's the life of football. It's like you can almost be there, and then you make one change, and then you get there, and it's like, man, it's a relief, but at the same time, it's like like in your mind, you kind of think this all I had to do was just go somewhere else. But at the end of the day, I think if you don't go through those trials and those tribulations and the other team, you don't respect it the same when you finally get it. And even Christian Aaron that he had time with the Crocs and then going to the Butchers and a different organization and doing what they did is special. The Butchers were the only team that I think, besides Scorpio, that took this season serious. Like really analyzed and said, you know what, we going for the gusto. We're not trying to. We're going to develop what we can develop, but we putting our money on our imports. Well, I don't really say just the imports. They just put good imports, great imports around really good finished players, and the finished players stepped up their game because of the guys that they're around, the imports that they're around. They stepped up their game. So Lucas Earler was a over the top guy all year. Mickey stepped his game up 1,000 times from what we seen him do last year. Like it's like they went to another level when they got this group of guys together. And then you got a coach like Rojo, you got Lassie, you got guys who been in games like this, who've been around a game like this in Finland. So it was a like recipe for success for the Butchers. You can't go wrong with that. Like if you give Rojo those type of receivers, it's guaranteed. It's almost like it's guaranteed. There's nothing you're gonna be able to do because one thing he gonna do is watch film. And that's a big thing that doesn't happen a lot in Finland or doesn't happen enough. But one thing Rojo gonna do is watch a lot of film. He gonna see where they can beat you at. He gonna see who they gonna pick on, and he took advantage of it. He said, "My guys are better than your guys, so I'm gonna put the ball in their hands," and that's what they did. And hey, Christian Powell, hey, salute to him, salute to Aaron B. All of them, man, because like really, that's what a championships team's supposed to look like. That's what you're supposed to do. You go into games and you handle business week after week. They came out healthy. They were the healthiest team. You know what I'm saying? The healthiest team didn't have the biggest roster.
I don't. I would go a little different on that part. I do think that one facet of their season that we just really never like harped on that they survived was that secondary.
Yeah,
They weren't healthy. They had corners who they expected to be the corners for this season, and it didn't work out. They ended up. I mean, Mikko Sepinen played corner in plenty of games this year, and then when they finally got Mickey J going out to play safety, it started to work out and look better. But that was something they were pretty much piecing together every week. Was that secondary?
Offensively,
Oh, I just meant, I just meant like as a
here.
team. Yeah.
Like,
as a team, that was the only
it's
spot.
hard to stop a team that guys are available every game. Like their good guys are available every single game, and it's just hard to stop guys like that when you can't match up on the other side. And I think when the Butchers start signing their players, other teams should have said, "Hey, whoa, I know we wanted to get a linebacker, but maybe we should get safeties, or maybe we should get a corner because this is the team that we're gonna have to beat. Like when it comes down to it, you can beat everybody else, but like this just by the roster, and the roster always don't tell it. But you gotta look at the whole thing. Like, damn, they went from Rojo to Aaron B. Day, then they got Christian Powell, and then they got, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh wow, we gotta really sign some really good players or some players that can play real good in this system. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think teams really did that. I think everybody just went on about their normal business and thinking like, oh, we're gonna have a chance because we got homegrown guys, and which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with having confidence in your homegrown guys. But at the end of the day, there's not one homegrown cornerback that's playing in the Maple League that's gonna stop Robitaille or Lucas Earl. So that's what position you got put in. They can make good plays against them, but 4 guys in secondary that can stop that 4 on a normal basis is not gonna happen. So that's what we ran into.
It's not gonna happen in this economy, this gig economy.
Yeah.
I've seen some good defensive backfields in the past, and that's a thing we're gonna talk about later. Is where they relate to some of the champions. But I want to finish giving the Butchers their flowers real quick, and you know what? I'm just gonna go position by position. I guess I could be talking about a championship game, but I guess I'm mostly just talking about this season. First off, hats off to CP. Finally got him one. So happy for that guy. So happy. And also so fortunate that that's the system he ended up in. I think one thing that goes a little underrated, a lot of people, I don't think anyone talks about it. Rojo's offense always has one of the best rushing attacks in the league.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he structured his offense, because it stretches teams so much vertically, when running backs get the ball, there's a lot of yards. I played in it 1 year, and I was like, this is crazy, because I was averaging like 9 yards to carry. Just because like you have to, keep up with everything. And CP's ability to also, be able to be available in the pass game. A lot of those plays where Aaron B-Day, he's just moving around and he sees CP, toss it to him, CP, soft hands, getting yacked.
Out of it.
This dude was averaging 3 touchdowns a game, 150 yards all season. Like it was a normal thing. And that's just incredible to be doing, what is he, 8 years in Finland? I think he's still under 30 though, but still 8 years playing running back position. We've seen him where he's had to carry the ball 30 times a game. We've seen him play in a championship where he couldn't even get the ball 12, but still. We've seen him do both things, and then we've seen him he looked great this year.
Mm-hmm.
He very LeBron-esque to me. So just want to give him his flowers. He played great.
Right. Oh, it went off.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm cool over here. But I was going to say that it still looks like Christian Powell could go another 4 or 5 years. So,
Easily.
Great this year. And, he was faster than a lot of people, strong as ever. Didn't really take a lot of hits. And like I said, no one really takes him to the ground. So he played great. Christian Aaron B-Day, easily best player in the league this year. In my opinion, definitely the only one that could have done it the way he did it. Not only was he on a team where normally when you have a team full of, weapons, what happens is there's not enough distribution. And then you have like a drop and a lull here and there. That was never the case. Everybody got their numbers. Everybody got their yards. Everybody got their stats. And everybody played great, but everybody stayed fresh. And he was able to play great and ultimately not take a lot of hits as well, playing the quarterback position on an offensive line that was good but not great. There was pressure. So he did a really good job leading that team. And then, again, they were dominant. The 10-0 was dominant. They had one game where maybe they got away with something, but when it came down to it, what did he do? Drove the team down the field, they scored.
He looked like, and not to cut you off, he looked like he watched himself play all of his games last year and literally worked on everything that he was supposed to fix. Because when I was watching him last year, he took chances a lot of times. That ended up being turnovers or he didn't complete them. And I was like, man, sometimes he a little sporadic when he on the run. But this year, he was calm. He was poised. He looked like he literally worked on everything that he's seen on film, and they fixed it because some of the throws that he made this year, I was like, wow, like these are on the money dimes, like literally on the run in the pocket. He looked real good in that offense, though. Like I can't talk that, I can't help but talk good about him because he just looked so much better to me than I seen last year. So,
and I want people to also realize that we've seen Christian Aaron B-Day since his professional career has started. Both me and Q were at an All-Star game in Miami where Christian Aaron B-Day was the quarterback. And I remember, and I was telling my wife this story right during the championship game, is I remember Christian Aaron B-Day showed up. It's a whole bunch of, NFL prospect type guys, NFL scouts in the area. Indoor teams and stuff, a lot of recruitment going on. He showed up. Where did he play at? He played at it was a purple school, like Wesleyan, Kentucky Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Kentucky Wesleyan, I think it was. And he shows up. I remember day one, the thing that stood out about Christian Aaron B-Day was he constantly thanked everybody for the opportunity. He just kept saying, I appreciate you guys having me out here. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I appreciate that. Like, just constantly, like, humble and grateful for that.
He was raised right, for real.
Yeah, grateful for the opportunity to show what he got. And then by the end of that weekend, he went out and played a hell of a game against some NFL caliber talent. And he was the MVP of the weekend. And I was like, that's crazy because usually the guy that's always, real nice to staff and stuff is usually, not
really a
that guy
dog.
on the
Not really a dog like that.
not really a dog, but he was on the field what he was off the field. And I remember his whole process coming to Europe and stuff. Talked to a couple of teams and coaches and found out that he was going to come to Finland. I was like, if he comes to Finland, he will be one of the best players in Finland. And he lived up to that 2 years in a row. And then this year, being able to, like you say, elevate, because he was good, but this year he was great. Like, I don't know how else to say it more. He was great. He was excellent. Loistava, he was the best. Like, there's no way to be a better quarterback than what he was. I don't know what his QBR was, but it had to be like over 153.4, right? It had to be the perfect score.
He didn't really have no – I can't think of a game where I was like, man, he played bad. Like, I can't think of a game where he just – like, I was like, oh, well, he played bad this game. Like,
I'm trying to think of a game where he played average.
Yeah, he played good all season.
Yeah, even the games where they're like blowing out people, like he still played really good early in the game. That you're like, okay, now they can just calm it down. And even later, he's still finding people throughout the game because he played almost every game. He played most of the quarters. So, excuse me, that's Christian Aaron B-Day. Glad he got a championship. Hell of a player. By far, he's my favorite player from this season for sure. And I can stand on that. Like, he for sure my favorite player this year, the one I think was the best. Now, let me move on to these receivers. Nate Robitaille. Woo! I am so glad he got the hell up out of Hungary and came to Finland, back to civilization, and showed the world what he could do. Because I think Europe was starting to sleep on that man. Matter of fact, last time he was in Finland, they had him playing defensive back, and he goes to ELF and where was he at?
He was working it. He was Rain Fire. He was working it.
Yeah, with Rain Fire, he worked. And then he goes to Hungary. He goes to Hungary, and what happens? If your environment is bad at a receiver spot, it's only so much you can do. And then he comes here. He comes here, and legitimately, I would say he's the number one receiver, but it could be argued that he's the number two receiver because you have someone like Lucas Arela, and that's fine. But when I'm watching Nate Robitaille play, I am watching a finished, polished product at receiver. Watch him catch the ball. Hands, not body, hands every time. If it's over his shoulder, hands. He's not cradling it in. His hands hit it first, and then he brings it in. It's not catching it in the basket. Always his hands, and then his footwork is impeccable. His route running, the reason you said it earlier, he's always one or two steps away because he creates separation with his routes. A lot of receivers don't do that. And you notice watching the games that a lot of receivers, if the route combination or the scheme doesn't get them open, they don't get open. Nate Robitaille, again, very like Ocho Cinco-like to me. You could put him in a phone booth and he's going to be open because that's how well he runs his routes. So it was really good to see him this year. I'm glad that he was like on display in the championship too. Yeah. Because I do feel like throughout the season, he had to get a lot of his like stats and stuff like later in games when it's kind of over. And I felt like that kind of it had people viewing, the hierarchy in the receiver room a different way. I'm sorry, but if I was, coaching against that team, that's the first guy I want to stop. That is the first guy I want to stop. But that leads me to the second guy you want to stop, the young Lucas Arela. So happy for this kid because I truly believe he is just now hitting his stride. I think we've seen him in the Maple League for the last 3 years. And I think in those 3 years, we could say he was not a finished product. And he still isn't, still a young kid. But this year, what I saw from him was a consistency that we hadn't seen before. We've seen him run the deep ball. We know that's what he does. He's faster than everybody. He can get behind you. What we haven't seen is him come down with the ball, him attack the ball, him use his hands, him run better routes as well. And then he added to his repertoire of him being able to kind of get more yards after catch. That wasn't really something he did in the past. They didn't let him run a lot of like mid to short routes. This year, Rojo opened it up for him. You got to see that he's also a dynamic runner with the ball. Saw him as a kick returner. You saw that. If you put the ball in his hands, he doesn't have to be 50 yards down the field. He's a guy you can throw a screen to and he can score. It just never got the opportunity. And then this year, you kind of got to see him like fully come out. And I think Christian Arambide had a lot to do with that. The way that he threw the ball to him, trusting in the young kid to go and make some plays, and he did. And he was very consistent, and you could tell he's been working. And that's what I really like is that you could watch him this year and tell that okay, he's been practicing, he's been working on his craft, he's becoming a really good receiver. Not to say he's not already a good receiver, but to the standards of what me and you think, an American type receiver is. I mean, he's already one of the best ones in Finland, so I ain't worried about that. So that's Lucas Erola. Hats off to him. Mikko Seppänen and Mickey J. I'm gonna throw y'all together. Just happy y'all got another championship doing y'all's thing. Both of these guys, two of the most selfless guys you could ever see. Because they are Porvoo Butchers football. Juniors all the way up. Those two guys are Porvoo Butchers football. And legitimately, with their life situations, both of them don't have to play football anymore. Yeah. They don't have to be out there. They have other talents. They have other commitments. But they're so committed to this organization that they put it all on the line. And you see both of them ended up playing defense this year. Mickey J coming into his own playing safety because he's just a freak athlete. Like, he just really is. And a lot of times people forget that. And, last year I kept saying, like, make him part of your offense. Like, focus on Mickey J because he's that talented that whether you're getting him the ball offense or letting him roam the field on defense, he can change the game. And this year they allowed him to do that. And you see what happened. And Mikko Seppänen, again, no slouch, does the dirty work for the route combinations. Has to take a lot of the coverages to help other people get open, but he does it with a smile on his face. And if you ever need a big play from him, he always comes up. I don't think one thing, this goes back to Christian Arambide, but not a lot of drop passes this year either from this receiver core, if any. I can't say for sure that they had no drop passes, but I just can't remember.
Wasn't like a normal thing.
Yeah, like Christian Arambide, like if he threw them the ball, they caught it. And a lot of times they were open, but they had a lot of traffic throws as well. A lot of those deep balls to Lucas Erola were contested this year compared to the past, and he still made those catches, where in the past he might not have made those catches. So these receivers really stepped up. Just to finish on the offensive line, did good in the game against probably the best defensive line you're going to go against. And not much you can say about that. They won some of the battles, they lost a couple, but they did well enough that their offense was able to stay in rhythm. I'm not going to say that it was a great performance by the offensive line, but they're good. Finland's offensive line play is still what we say it is the last 3 or 4 years. It's average. It's mid. There's just too many guys who are there but don't have to be better than what they are. But the Butchers O-line is one of the better ones in the league. So that was a really good season. All right, now let me jump to the defense. Yeah, I'm just going to go through all of them because my team won. I'll take my time. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. On the defensive side, Butchers' defensive line did what they had to do in the championship. You slowed down Sip, got off the field. After that, it was pretty much a rout. Glad that they were able to get everybody involved. Everybody kind of put in a lot. Really good to see Vuoksentuori, the second Vuoksentuori, number 97. He had some pretty good plays from what I saw early in the game. He was putting up a lot of pressure and helping in the run game. And also Nettie, number 93. Linebacker Jalen Todd did your thing. That dude is fast.
I hope they sign him again. I'm sure he probably, he probably liked it and enjoyed it. I'm sure EFA or ELF will be calling.
One of them ways.
One or two anyway, whichever one's around. But Jalen Todd, like I said earlier, I really liked the way that he played the middle linebacker. And also Adam Callahan too, and Harry. I like those. We had some really good linebackers this year in the league. Just starting with him being, pretty much the top one. And I just like this play. Real selfless player, what I'm saying? Doing everything, leading by example. And I always say this, when you're a linebacker, you have to act like this from tackle to tackle is yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is my area. It means like maybe I don't make every tackle, but I need to be somewhere around here when the ball is moved. So I like Jalen Todd for what he did, you know what I'm saying, this season for that team. So he definitely
Yeah.
on the spotlight for that.
Like I said earlier in the season on the podcast, I said like he kind of makes up for the fact that the rest of the linebackers are kind of like, not as quick to the ball. But I do want to talk about this championship game where I felt like the rest of those linebackers were putting in almost the same amount of speed and effort as Jalen Todd. I saw a lot of bodies getting to the ball. I think they were rallying around him. He wasn't the only one getting to the ball. Linebacker group looked really good in the championship game. And then on the back end, secondary, I know there's a lot of moving parts, but they made it work. Again, like I said, in this game, they blanketed the top receiver from the Crocodiles and held him in check. Nothing crazy. I don't know if did they have any interceptions or anything? I don't know if they did from what I saw. But I know that they didn't allow anything. And in a championship game, that's just as good. You don't have to always have turnovers and things like that. And then last guy, got to give her flowers to Zach Wright. Doing what Zach Wright does. I think it's hard to kind of pinpoint this year a little bit more than anything else because he wasn't asked to kind of be that guy in the back as much. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, Mickey J had a great season, all those interceptions. The reason he was allowed to do that was because Zach Wright was in the trenches, like doing a lot of other things for that defense so that they had a guy who basically was free back there. And then you find a ball hawk like Mickey J to play back there. I mean, it's a great situation for them. But again, we notice what Zach Wright brings to that defense and how he's a game changer out there. And he still, if Mickey J wasn't on the team, he would have led the league in interceptions for the third season?
Yeah.
He would have.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory.
I mean, he crunked their playoff game up. He started the playoff game, the first playoff game off like he's supposed to, pick six. Like this is when you hit a team like that real fast, real quick, and then it's him. That's what you want from your players. That's what you want from your imports. That's how you show up to games. And Zach Wright is a perfect example of what an import's supposed to be. He consistently makes plays, and like we talked about before, it's hard to be good all the time. So you know what it takes for him to always be on the stat board. It's just dedication, it's effort, it's a mindset. And Zach Wright, hey, good season for him too, man. Another good season we got to watch with him.
Yeah. I guess that's it about this game. Yeah. I do wanna get into kind of the overall picture stuff here in a second, so we can get into that. Give us a full hour. Hold on. All right, season is over. It's all said and done. Let me ask you a couple things, Coach Q. Got a couple questions for you. First question. Butchers. Are we a dynasty now? 2 championships, 3 years.
That's a hard question right there.
Hold on. Let me make sure I'm right about this.
They won. Then the Roosters won, and they won again.
Who was in the championship last year?
The Croc. Well, it was the Roosters and the Crocs, right?
Was it? Does that mean the Crocs were in the Maple Bowl 3 years in a row?
Unless the Roosters beat somebody else, I thought it was the Crocs.
I mean, I believe you. I'm just trying to remember.
I know it wasn't the Butchers, so it had to be. Damn, who did the Roosters? Anybody watching know who the Roosters beat?
Was it the Steelers? Because that just sounds like we missed out on opportunity. It says Jesse says Roosters and Crocs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was the Roosters and Crocs. Yeah, because they played in the championship game. Yeah.
Hold on. What? Oh yeah. So hold on. So the Crocodiles have lost the last 3 Maple Bowls in a row because that's who they beat in 2023. Is that a dynasty?
It would have been if they had won. Hey,
That can't be. That's crazy. Yeah. So, but I mean, that's right? Roosters and
yeah,
Crocs.
because they
God.
definitely was the Crocs last year because that's the whole reason probably because we was like Aaron B-Day and Christian Powell went to the championship, but what's the name?
Did
Ambrose
they?
played a great game though.
I don't, man. That's
You
crazy.
remember? Look.
I just don't remember. I don't know why I don't remember. I should remember it. What was the score?
Ambrose played a great game though last year.
It was 25-8. Oh, so they used to getting their ass whooped, huh? Yeah. It says September 14, 2024. Vatra Liga Championship. Seinäjoki Crocodiles 8, Helsinki Roosters 25.
Yeah.
Huh. So they got blown out two Maple Bowls in a row, and they done lost 3 in a row. Gosh. Jesse says Greenfield ran crazy.
Yeah, it was 49-14, right?
49-14? I don't.
Yeah, it was 49-14.
It was 49-14. Gosh. I just looked up this AI thing told me it's 25-8. I guess they were wrong.
It was 49-14. Yeah, because
gosh.
remember we said we seen Ethan Greenfield run literally to a championship. Like he balled like all year last year for them too. But yeah, so dynasty.
Yeah, back to the real stuff.
Yeah, I think the Butchers are on the verge of it. Yeah, I think if they go back this year, this next season, then yeah, I'll give them that. But I will say this right now, they're the team that I think is the face of Finland football. The Butchers
You think so?
Yeah. I think they back. To that. If you, I'm saying you go to 3. You almost. I mean, not say go to 3, but like, look where they at now. They the team to beat, so they the face now.
I guess. I mean,
To me, I'm just saying.
Well,
to me,
I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of the face, and the face to me is the LeBron James effect.
I think what they just proved, what they just did in this league, they're the team to beat. Like that's who you want to beat right now. Next year, I don't know what their plans are, but like if you think about it, like they didn't lose.
That's every year.
They didn't lose.
But that's every year. Whoever wins is the team to beat the next year. That's always the case.
Yeah.
Like the Roosters were the team to beat.
If some kind of way the same roster, not same roster, obviously it probably won't be the same roster, but at the end of the day, you would probably have to deal with Lucas Early. You're gonna have to deal with Mickey again. You know, I mean, it's certain names gonna be there regardless.
Yeah, their O line is revamped, so it's not an old O line anymore. So they're always gonna have those same guys.
Zach Wright probably run it back. I know how it is when you get to Finland and you could go somewhere else, but you just like being there because it's so cool. It feels great to be there. They take care of you. It's hard. It's hard to.
They have a good situation. It's one of those few like really good situations. Like you have players with experience. And also you have players who aren't necessarily trying to like use Finland as a stepping stone.
Christian Powell is finished now. So
yeah, that also helps. When you have players you have one of the few grandfathered in Finnish players. Like that's very helpful. Yeah, I guess the Butchers are the face. It's just hard like to wrap my head around the Butchers as the face because I know the Butchers. You know the Butchers. We know the Butchers.
Yeah, but see, I'm looking at it as like the Butchers have always been at a point in a 7-year stretch, 6-7-year stretch, they were the face anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they were the face of Finland anyway. Like if you really
different era.
Yeah, different era, but like their organization is right up is up there exactly with the Roosters when you think about it as far as what
So
they produce for Finland football.
agreed, 100%.
Yeah,
But when you're like talking about like the face, it's one of those situations where I think of teams like, uh, let me go all NFL with it. It's like you have the New England Patriots, and then you have the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah,
Like it's two totally different fandoms.
yeah.
Like people that are Patriots fans, that's cool, but come on. And then people that are
Yeah.
Chiefs fans, you're like, okay, that's a whole nother vibe. And I felt like for a long time, like the Roosters fans, you were kind of like, okay, that makes sense. They've done all this, they won all the championships. But now when I think about the Butchers, just you can't really describe it. Like when I think about the Crocodiles, I can kind of tell you like this is their vibe, this is how the team is gonna be consistent. Even with the Roosters, we both agreed it's a turmoil system now. You know, they're going through a lot of changes, a lot of inexperience. People don't know how to win per se. When I look at the Butchers, I don't have a grasp on it. You know,
Yeah, that's because they're the Butchers. I think about now.
mm.
Butchers like committed to now. Like we want to win now. I feel like the Roosters are one of those teams where like they're gonna have a year or two like this,
Mm.
maybe three. You know what I'm saying? But they're also gonna go back on a run for like 3 or 4 championships in a few years, probably. It's
Well,
just what happens with them.
well,
So
well. I mean, when you look at it, also, I mean, I always go back to the juniors. I don't know much about the Butchers junior system, but I know the Roosters are still competitive in the junior circuits. And, you know,
mm,
East City Giant is competitive as well, and so are the Royals. So it's one of those like, yeah, they're probably just reloading, but for the Roosters, who cares if you reloaded? The squad you got ain't that good. So
yeah,
you can
yeah.
I mean, you
Like
just
right now, it's
reload.
gonna be some hard times for them. It's gonna be some learning, some learning pains. But like you said, I just really think the Butchers are right now. I think Scorpio, I think Tampa the Saints, I think Roosters, I think they're more of long term, um, watching their guys become better players right now. But the Butchers is like, nah, we want to win right now.
Let me
So
let me ask you this. Would you rather I'm thinking of like Crocodiles and I'm thinking of Steelers. And
yeah,
honestly, like probably you could say tomato tomato. Would you rather be in a situation like going from this season on? Would you rather be in a
uh,
situation for the Crocs or the Steelers when it comes to like what's possible, what you've already done from a team standpoint? Like looking at the Crocodiles have been to 3 Maple Bowls in a row.
yeah,
There's only one way to go up, and they've proven time and time again that they're never going to do everything it takes to do that. But
if I
when you look at the Steelers squad that they have the last 2 seasons, their core has been good, not great. Like
mhm,
even this year, that a good receiving core. I would not say a great receiving core,
yeah,
and that's like okay. They would have to make major changes to get over the hump, but they got three in the bag. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like they can withstand a drought if that makes sense. 3 years ago,
yeah.
they won a championship as an organization.
And how many did Scorpio went to what, 3 championships too?
Yeah, Corpio won three. That's what I'm
They
saying.
won three. Yeah,
They
Scorpio
won the
won
three
three.
and been to like
So if I'm a
five.
young kid, if I'm a young Finnish kid right now,
Yeah, yeah,
would I choose to go to Seinäjoki or would I choose to go to Scorpio State? I'm going to
yeah.
Scorpio. I'm
That's
going
what
to
I would do
Scorpio.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, just because when I look at skill set at positions, and a team like Scorpio, they don't need a roster full of imports. They just need plug-in players at certain
yeah,
spots. And when you got the Isaac Marshall, you got Noah Choate, you got Quick at receiver, those guys can play together for like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna play together for a long time. So, uh, yeah, if I'm a young Finnish kid, I'm going to Scorpio. Like
yeah,
and not saying that if they decide to go to Seinäjoki, because you're probably going to play with the same guys too for a lot of years.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just skill set wise, I think Scorpio have better skill players than
Mm.
Seinäjoki. So as a young kid, I'm going to Scorpio probably.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. Last question I'm asked about this. In terms of Maple League championship teams, excuse me, where we putting the
Rank
2020? Yeah, where we putting the 2025 Butchers, man? Where we putting them? Best you ever saw? Top five?
offense. I would say they go in the
Best you ever
top
saw?
five
Okay.
offense. Offense. I would say this year's their offense is probably top five, but I'm not gonna say overall team. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um.
we all know who that is.
Yeah. 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 I was.
It's that one squad.
Yeah. No. But because I just seen some really really good championship teams in Finland in our years, and and even though I think one of the best squads that they put together was the Scorpio Steeler 20 squad.
Yeah,
2020
well, yeah,
squad
that was
was
probably
the
the
most.
best.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
probably
but
like
that
the best overall squad.
yeah, but that,
Um,
just like the 2020 Los Angeles Lakers, they were pretty good
yeah,
too.
yeah. The bubble. That was like
The
one of the best
bubble.
squads. I'm always gonna say I feel like 2017 Roosters, my year, I'm gonna say I don't think we were one of the better Rooster teams. But I think we had everybody at the right spot. I'll just say that. Like we had everybody at the right spot.
I
Like
don't know
it
why, but
wasn't
I'm still thinking 2018 was the best year. The year after that,
uh
roster wise. Sorry, coach, but
roster
roster
yeah,
wise.
yeah, roster like but that's when Brandon brother came, that's when Adam came. But I can't remember besides Miro who was the other receivers with them.
They had another American.
Kimmy was Kimmy playing with him?
No, there was another. What's his name? He was still there. I can't remember this guy's name now. Number two, he was still there.
Well, yeah, we
Um,
go
he,
17, 18.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's a whole other episode right there where we could
yeah,
discuss
yeah.
another
I was just
time.
wondering. Yeah, that's
But
what I
yeah,
was
yeah,
just
no,
asking.
they offensively, I'd say they go up there in the top five offenses for sure. But I won't say overall team because
Well,
as you
that's
said, like you say, the secondary they weren't like up there with like some of these teams we've seen before. But even one of the Butchers team, like I don't know if anybody's seen the 2000. I believe it was the 2008. It had to be the 2008 or 2009 Butchers championship team. That might have
yeah. I
been
think
one
it
of
was
the best.
2008. Yeah,
Yeah, that might have been one of the best championship teams I've seen too in Finland. So it just depends. And the Wolverines, Steven Stokes said they championship year. They had Tommy that used to play for the Roosters too. Tommy
yeah. Tight end,
that
the tight end.
went to my
Yeah.
college. Oh yeah, they had a squad, boy. Like they had a squad. So it's a lot of good teams that done came through Finland. But the Butchers offense, I definitely think the top five. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's. We're almost out of here. We're gonna do last thoughts and then we out. All right. Not. This isn't last words. This is final thoughts on the Maple League season 2025. Now it's completely over.
Mm. I'll say this. I'll throw these little few shots at them. Seinäjoki. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure out how to get over that hump. We know you can get there. I apologize to y'all because I put y'all real low this year. So I'm gonna apologize to you for doing that. But that's what I thought was gonna happen at the losing who y'all lost. So I'll say that first. The second team, Tampa the Saints, make those signings a little earlier next time. Make that Collier, Logan Collier was a great. I would love to see him with Jesse for a full season. Um, Also, with the tight end, like I would love to see them a full season. Get some other skilled players on defense, maybe too. The bulk up that team. Wolverines either go down a level and play down there and try to figure out what you want to be and figure out what you want to be as an organization and a team. ECG recruit in this off season. Recruit in this off season.
Recruit
I
who?
do. Um, Import. I won't say import, but local. Like do what you can to try to get some better players at certain positions because I don't think they had a. I don't think they look. I don't look at their season as like a bad season. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Wolverines. I'm disappointed in their season. I'll definitely say that. Scorpio keep doing what they doing. They swag there, they energy there. That game, they could have easily been in the championship game too. So I won't give them too much. Butchers, I want y'all to run it back. Run it back. I want y'all to run it back. And last but not least, Helsinki Roosters. It was people. I had people write me say, "Q, I can't believe you picked against the Roosters." And me as a person, one thing I'm not gonna be is delusional. And I couldn't be delusional in thinking that just because I'm a fan and I like them and I won a championship with them that I thought they was just gonna win every game, and that's just not true. They declined in certain aspects of this team this year. I'm sure they know that, but what they got to do is reboot, work hard in the off season, and come back and sign some. And it sounds better. It sounds bad. Sign some better imports. Just gonna be honest. Sign some better imports. The imports that you had, besides Harry, I think Harry was a great linebacker. I think he was great. I think he did as much as he could. But other positions, you got to have playmakers there. You got to have guys that can show up every game. But other than that, overall season top heavy, real top heavy. But we got some good games out of this season. I enjoyed watching everybody, talking to everybody. I'm not an expert.
Enthusiast.
I'm an enthusiast of the game. You know what I'm saying? I like I said, this ain't my job. I just like to talk about it. My word is not bond. You know what I'm saying? It's not the truth. It's not gold. It's just what I'm speaking. I've been around Finland football for a long time, and I kind of got high expectations for certain things, especially imports. So, but other than that, man, it's been a good season. I can't believe we had to end now, but I'm happy also too because we get to rest a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. And shout out to my boy Rojo again, man. I ain't talked to him in a little while, but I know he probably focused in doing his thing, but he was one of the first people to tell me congratulations on winning the Maple Bowl, and I just want to return the same thing and say congratulations on you winning the Maple Bowl too. And shout out to Lassie, my old teammate with the 69ers. Yari Morning, shout out to him, my old teammate with the 69ers, man. I'm so happy for you guys. Winning a championship means the world to me. Feel like a part of me won too. So, shout out to them guys though.
I want to throw out a little something that I always remember about the 69ers. Them jerseys was crazy. Y'all was wild for them things. Them things. And you know what I'm talking about. Somebody look it up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Helsinki 69ers. First of all, the team name, wild.
Wow.
Second of all,
man, we
jersey.
Was wild.
Yeah.
We was wild too. We was some wild characters.
Wild.
Yeah. Brother, that's real. That's real. Like when you think of European football, to me, I know people used to be like, man, these guys are a little older. They was just playing to play. But man, that's my family, man. Shout out to all the old 69er guys, man, who's still around. They showed me a lot of love when I came to Finland. They made me fall in love with Finland. They really did. They made me fall in love with Finland, and they made me fall in love with Yellovina. So I'll never forget. I'll never forget them at all, man. So yeah, but this is Finland, man.
Yeah. So my final thoughts on the 2025 Maple League season would be, I thought it was good. I like the new format. I do think we need to push it to 12 games. I think 10 games is just not enough sample size, if that makes sense, to get everybody. And I think 2 more games, you would have played almost everybody, right? You would have maybe missed one team twice, but I think that's hold up. Is that how many teams are there? There's 7 teams.
Yeah.
So if you play 6 twice, you would get everybody twice. So somehow they only played 10. Okay, yeah. So there was 2 teams that you only played once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have got both of them again. And in my opinion, I think it makes a difference, especially when you're playing games like this where only 4 go to the playoffs. And it's a full season kind of determines how you get there. And when you play one team once, it could just be completely different than when you play them later. And that's just the situation. I think that's something. And I also, as long as the season is, and as many bye weeks as some people had, I feel like everybody could get in another game or two because there were some weeks where the Steelers had like a 3-week break in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
You tell me they couldn't have played 2 out of 3 of those weeks. Like, I'm not in charge of that, so that ain't what it is. But that's pretty cool. I like being able to do the power rankings though. That was fun.
Yeah.
I think that was really cool. For me, this season has been fun from the podcast standpoint, from AFF, from us being able to do, what is it? We did the power rankings this year. Podcast was all video this year. I think this is our second year doing video podcasts. It was very consistent. We also had like the little clips and stuff go online, but also the end of the year awards. It's always fun to do those. This year we kind of fixed the process a little bit better. I think we got a more accurate representation of who we really thought were some of the all Finland players, and it went well. And I really appreciate the response that everyone had to it this year. In the past, in the past, we've had situations where I just felt like there was like last year, I think it was last year, the year before, where there was a couple positions where I was like, oh, we just didn't get it right. Like we didn't. I know we didn't. And this year, I didn't feel like that at all. Yeah. I mean, there's some things that obviously, like I was like, I could go either way, but I didn't feel like we missed anybody. And I didn't feel like we reached for anybody. Like we didn't like overinflate anybody where they are. And I really felt like the response kind of validated that for me this year. We had a lot of response online to those lists. And obviously they're just lists, like they don't mean anything. But if anybody has seen or followed this show, we put a lot of time into watching these guys play. And I said it in week 1, like I'm already making my list. Like I'm constantly looking to see like who I think is going to have this. I know from my standpoint and your standpoint too, we're big on impact, not stats, which means a lot of our picks, you have to turn on the film. And if you haven't watched the film, you can throw me all the stats you want to, but like the film don't lie, stats do. And even film can be manipulated when you're only watching some of the film. And I think we've done a decent job of watching most of the games, if not all the games this year, and making sure that we get to see the valuable like play by some of these players. But it was just I felt like the talent this year, I don't want to say it was better than last year, but I do want to say that I felt like the parity was closer.
We
had a lot of teams with similar talent. I felt like there was players who they weren't maybe up and down, but you knew that, okay, they might give up a big play or they might make a big play. Like it was that close a lot of times. Yeah. And I think that makes for a good league. And I think that the Maple League is one of the few leagues that is going to be a good league for a long time. We don't need no ELF team out here. I'm going to say that too. I think people might not, like I've heard rumors. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but I don't think Finland needs that, if that makes sense. I think the system here,
and then what'll end up happening, all the good players go to that team. So
and that doesn't help. That doesn't help the sport. Yeah, that's the only issue I have with it is that if the sport isn't big enough in the country, it shouldn't go outside the country. I do wish there were more international games, but I think that's going to get even dicier now that there's the ELF and the EFA going on. I wouldn't be opposed to the whole like Nordic championship again. Like if they decided to play, I think that'd be cool if we sent 2 teams to go play against Sweden and Denmark and Norway. I think that'd be cool. But really, what I got from this year was good football in Finland, decent football. A lot of what we saw was actual football worth watching. Not a lot of like random schemes and stuff. Teams played players that were good. I agree with Q 100% though. The Wolverines need to get their shit together. That's the only blight on the league is that I have people constantly sending me messages asking me about the Wolverines. And I'm not talking about people from Finland. I'm talking about people from all over the world Like,
Right.
is that team really that bad? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not even on that team. But I gotta and again, me and Q, we do kind of represent Finland on the international stage.
Yeah.
People are constantly
Yeah.
asking us, like, how is the Maple League? Is it really good? I have plenty of players asking me, should I go?
Yeah.
Should I go to this team? Should I go to that team? And again, we're not telling people business. So I'm not going out telling people like, hey, this person's doing this. But
Yeah.
I am trying to be as honest, but also promotional as possible. Like, I'm like, yeah, you come to Finland, you're gonna get good teams. You should, this team is worth playing for. If you want to play for this team, they're gonna treat you right. And we try to say all the right things, but it's really hard when you have teams like the Wolverines, like, stinking it up.
Yeah.
Like you said, the East City Giants didn't have a great season. Tampa Bay Saints didn't have a great season, but they played well enough that you could see where they're going.
Yeah.
And that Wolverines team just didn't play like that. And that's no fault, I think, no fault to the players themselves. Like, I think they're trying, but it's an organizational thing, and you have to get over that hump. And hopefully they will. I don't know. But that's probably the only negative on the season for me. I thought it was a pretty good season, 2025. Really excited about those end of season awards, and just a little teaser. Still gonna do a top 50. We're still gonna do a top 50.
Yeah.
And when that thing come out, I 100% do not believe it will be well receptive. Because there's going to be some things in there that people just not going to understand. Because this year we're going all in on it. It's going to be very detailed and accurate. So y'all be on the lookout for that top 50 coming up. And if you're not on the All Finland list, that does not mean you're not on the All 50. And if you are on the All 50 list, that does not mean you're going to be on the top 50 this year. Like, those things are not mutually exclusive. The All Finland list is a list that we make up a team of players based on production in the season. Like, that's the biggest factor, is production and what you bring to the team at your position. When we make an All 50 team, when we make our top 50 list, it'll be based on who are the best players. And when we say best players, that doesn't have to include what you did performance-wise. Like, statistics are based on who you're playing when you're playing. We're going for best players. So if a player is better than another player, it is what it is. Because you got 200 yards against a bad team doesn't make you better than a player who only had 20 yards against a good team. Those are just the facts. So I'm excited about that too, because that's what's next. So I guess we're good here. Well, let's do this outro. We're good. All right, that is it for this episode of American Football in Finland. Tried to drag it out as good as we could, honestly did, because this is going to be the last episode of 2025, and there will be no episodes in 2026. As of right now, we don't have anything planned. We might do some stuff, but there's no actual season plan for 2026. We're going to take a hiatus, reset ourselves. There should be some big things happening in the Maple League next year. We don't want to give that away, but it should be exciting, and we will be watching, but we won't be covering like we normally do. Other than that, any last words before we get out of here, Q?
I said everything I had to say, man. It's been a pleasure, as always, my boy. So,
same thing for me. I appreciate everybody supporting the podcast. You can still always like, subscribe, and share. This has been a really fun experience. What is this, season 10 victory lap? We've done 10 rounds of this. It's been exciting. It's been fun. It's been tiring. It's the end of an era. I'm glad it's the end of an era. It means that if we do come back, it's a new chapter. But also, I think we've done our part for the sport here in Finland as much as we can, helping support it and get it out to as many people as possible. And again, if anyone is interested in doing something like this and you'd like some pointers or tips, we're available. Maybe a guest host or something. I don't know. I mean, me personally, I'm 100% out of it, but Q might be able to come in and, chat it up with somebody. If somebody wants to do this next summer, let us know. We're available. We're resources. We can definitely help you set that up if you want to. But as for this season, we're over. Congrats to Porvoo Butchers on winning the championship once again, twice in 3 years. Go Butchers. Congrats to everybody in the Maple League this year. It was a great season. I think a lot of the teams played as well as they could. The teams that need to get better, you know who you are. Get better. With that, until next time, whenever that will be, you can follow us on social media channels at American Football. And until next time, never forget.
T.
I.
F.
We go. Oh, no, hold on. We're not out. Shout out to Chris Green, the champion.
Oh, yeah.
We
got at least say about last
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this is the last episode. No, this year, Chris wasn't really able to get on. That was because he was out there grinding, playing netball, cricket, and
everything,
flag and tackle football at the same time. But that doesn't mean he hasn't been here with us the whole time. He's still in the group chat. He's keeping us up with what's going on in Brit Ball. Sorry, I didn't want to do the outro without shouting him out because it's the last episode. But shout out Chris Green, man. But with that, we out of here.
Yes, sir.